Do I have a? Oh, yes, you do.
Right there. Thank you.
Thank you. So I'm Goran. I'm from Hinkley. I've been there for 21 years. So the opposite of what Ted talked about at Sherwin-Williams is they had a whole team of IT people. When I came in, I was the second person in IT department, other than my boss, who was there and still is there. So when I started in, so I was fresh out of college, I didn't really have a lot of experience, so I just started building on computers and, moved this computer here and plugged things in and stuff. So we didn't have a lot of data ownership at that time. And our marketing department created a new website with a company out of downtown Cleveland called Aztec. And they did a really good job of structuring the data and all of the data attributes that you need to have for your products. And we have about 18,000 products that we consistently sell. Like 6,000 are finished goods and the rest are like components and parts. So that data was necessary for the site to be built and stuff. But we're talking about AI, so I should mention I did use AI for the presentation, and it wasn't approved by marketing, obviously, with the round. But so it was a third-party web vendor at the beginning, and I was asked to kind of come in as we were looking to switch websites, and we decided, because it was all built nicely in a SQL Server database, we decided to bring it into our in-home database that we had, and just for ease of use. So we wanted to add more attributes. We wanted to be able to extend things about products. Now everybody wants you to give them, so much data. Everybody's constantly asking for more and more and more. You need pictures, you need, additional dimensions and things like that. So it was very expensive to have a third-party company build you every one of these little things. So we brought it in-house. And then I built an internal .NET platform that was managing this data. This was about 13 years ago. So by accident, we took over a bunch of the data. That allowed us really to create an intranet portal that allowed our customer service staff and internal employees to have visibility to this data plus ERP and CRM data that was already there. So on top of it, we built this custom solution, and we were able to leverage and display this for customer care. And then later we extended that over to our customers and reps. So we were able to relatively cheaply expand everything we've tested internally because we owned the data. We were able to then leverage that out. So that was one of the initial results. So it was a lower cost to add attributes, faster changes, and we had a single source of truth. So that's how we've kind of become a data-driven company at that time, about 13, 14 years ago. I never thought of it that way until recently. Two people left the company, and actually one came back and told me that the reason that she is coming back is because we are such a data-driven company, and she didn't have that in the other company that she went to. So then the power of data became even more evident because we were able to create our own application, an iPad application that we also built with another Cleveland company, relatively cheaper. So we leveraged Amazon's AWS. They built the app. The app was built in 2012. It's still used today. It's very modern and responsive. So our company does these trade shows 2 a year. So Dallas Market, we talked about connectivity, and at Dallas Market, connectivity is horrible. It's a huge building, so you need to be able to take orders offline. So our application was built with the data that we've collected over the years and that we've continued to grow on. So it just helped us respond to the needs as things come up, as you're asked for new apps, as you're asked to integrate into different platforms. We had the data to do so. We had, since then, 3 other separate websites that we actually ended up integrating with, and we had the same source of truth. So the data that we've collected and we built on now continues to feed into the newest website right now, Magento. We're right now going to the latest and greatest version. So, we kind of went from database to database to APIs. With Magento now, we're going to like just salsify, right? So now everybody wants, everybody wants data. So Salsify is this platform that you feed your core data, single source of truth into, and then it feeds different ways. So like Amazon wants it displayed a certain way, and Home Depot wants it displayed a different way. So Salsify handles that problem, but you still have your data as the source of truth. We have built some cool stuff, like we built an API-driven short code SMS tool. So you can ask, you can chat with the short code, which is pre-AI. It's not smart, so it just responds to a product number. You give it a product number, you get back how much we have in stock, how much does it cost. And our intranet portal is also kind of like that, a chat tool. And we've always wanted to have a Google-like platform where you can come in on one single screen and you can ask any questions and get a bunch of responses. So that's where the future, I think, is going for us with Moreland. We have a prototype that I just saw yesterday. It's awesome. It's a single page that we were able to leverage because we have so much data. We gave them all the data, and it's able to respond back to us, in language that is pretty incredible. So if you ask it, you give it an order number, it can give you promise states for that order number. You give it an invoice number, it can give you back tracking numbers, copy of the invoice. So that stuff is really cool. And another thing we were able to respond to just by having data was everybody's here has had some troubles with tariffs. So even though tariffs impacted us for a short amount of time, you kind of stopped shipping, and then we also parked a bunch of containers offshore. So we ran out of stuff quick, and customers still need stuff. So they wanted a page where they can look at products that's similar to the product that we don't have in stock. And because we had this data, we were able to build this page and respond very quickly to that. And that was one of our most used and best things we've done during that time. And it really helped us stay afloat for a while there. And I think, just to reiterate, the data that we have, we use Click. It's all from a central place. If I had a lesson for me, right now we upgraded from old Progression Macola ERP into NetSuite. So everybody kind of wants everything in NetSuite, but the problem is you can't fit everything. It's not going to be able to hold everything. So NetSuite cannot be the single source of truth for everything. You still need to have NetSuite and other systems do what they're supposed to do, but you still have to own the data yourself and not let it get taken away into different platforms, and then you lose that centralized location. And then this is ChatGPT trying to be funny. Friends don't let friends store product data in random spreadsheets. And that's all I have.
Perfect. Thank you. Any questions? Questions for Chris or John? Yes, John.
You mentioned that you were using the iPads in venues in Texas, I think I heard, and the challenge was getting connectivity out, so that's why you store the data locally.
Yeah, so High Point Market is a big building down in Dallas, and we don't own the devices that the iPads are on, the reps do. So even though you have LTE, so if you do connect to wireless rather than Wi-Fi, you don't necessarily control that the reps are going to have their Wi-Fi remaining, and the Wi-Fi connects to the Dallas market's Wi-Fi, which is never working. It's horrible. So the app had to work offline because you always had that risk of somebody just not connecting, or it connects here, but then they go behind the building and it loses the connectivity. So it needed to work offline so they could take orders and then sync it once you're ready to submit the order.
So if I told you it was possible today to give you a private slice of the network that you could connect cellular to what they call a point of sale slice, would that be something that you feel would have a lot of value to you? Or do you think it's still fine to keep it on the tablet?
I mean, things have changed since 2012. So yes, would it be valuable? Absolutely. We are going to redo the app. This is a small manufacturer. We paid, I don't know how much we paid, but the ROI was 10 plus years on the app with the local Cleveland company. And the new app that we're looking into, like that we would rent, a lease or whatever with the third party, is twice as expensive every year. So every year you would pay how much we paid originally. Every 2 years you'd pay how much we paid originally for the app. So it doesn't make any sense for us to them. So we are thinking about redoing our app with Moreland. And I think we talked about also AI. AI is making so much more code capable in so much less time. So it's a lot more affordable to build a huge app nowadays than it was 12 years ago. So all of those are on the table.
So you talked about the website being better improved. What metrics kind of show how that impacted the business?
The website?
Yeah, like what did it lead to more sales? Did it lead to like what?
I think for website, originally we had that third party, so we like outsourced the web build to another company. So it was just a lot more expensive. You needed one field added, one checkbox. You had to pay them, I don't remember what it was, but it was just a lot more expensive to add attributes. So we were less likely to add attributes. So now when we came to a point in time, like the world has totally changed, you go to Amazon's, they just want data, and they need multiple pictures of the fixture, they need videos, they need you to tell them how deep it can get into a ceiling, into behind a wall, so many data elements that you never thought of before. So it would be very expensive to have a third party continuously charge you for doing all these things, where you can just do them yourself now that you own the data through your own IT department.
Were there sales that would have been lost in the past that now are not lost?
I think we would not have had the growth in e-commerce platform had we not had the data. So we would not have had the success in that aspect. So that's a growing pie for probably everybody. So for Hinkley especially, and I think there's a Kichler person in here too, there's a showroom business that's kind of like stable now. So it's not shrinking anymore, but e-com is consistently growing, which requires that you have data.
Is there any information on why to go with Hinkley versus somebody else in the website? The sales pitch itself is what I'm getting at. Is there a way, like, right, you obviously you type in, hey, I want this product, it's kind of like that one. Is there any way to make it that why buy ours?
Well,
it sounds like the decision's already made maybe at that point, but
I mean, that's for like the sales team probably. Okay. I mean, all these companies have to get in competitive spaces. Mm-hmm. So competitively being, are you offering the data on Amazon? So I know, for example, like if you don't provide an accurate inventory feed to Amazon or Wayfair, they'll take you off the search. So it's like, imagine being on Google, except you're on the second page. Nobody cares about you, right? So if you have the data and if you're accurately providing that data, which they measure, they're going to measure your accuracy. So you're going to go on the top page, so it will lead to increase in sales as long as you do have that accuracy. Anything else?
Perfect. No, perfect. And I can totally relate to Dallas Market Center. Yeah, I'm the Kichler guy in the room.
Oh, okay.
Ex-Kichler guy. So both of us are in the decorative lighting space. I was in the decorative lighting space. And I would say you guys are leaps and bounds ahead in terms of consideration for being in that building still. When Kichler had its systems and its showroom in there, this will just tell you something about that industry. They were still faxing orders. Okay, so it's just a different animal. So this is a lot of data progression, and exactly where I thought you were going was e-commerce. This is where it's so data heavy. It is not necessarily the data that the customer is looking at to make the purchase decision. It's actually the data that leverages our availability of product online for e-commerce customers, and that ability to get in front of and get a search result and be up there and say, hey, look at this 5-light chandelier in satin nickel. That is as simple as it is. All right.
Can I mention one other thing? It's a project we're working on. It's AI related. So the purchase orders come in through email, and this company is able to read the PDF files and extract all the elements you need. And I think it's pretty common these days, but the cost is now affordable for smaller businesses, and I think this is smaller, small manufacturing. So it's becoming much more affordable per read of PDF for you to integrate your system. But again, you need to have a capability to integrate. You need to have a data, and then on the back end, you need to be able to integrate that into the ERP. So,
Awesome.
thank you.
Any last questions? Appreciate it, Goran. Chris, thank you.